Hi, welcome to the Krystle Clear podcast. Today's unique because I am going to be the guest and Natalie is going to interview me. I felt like it was appropriate that people hear my story. Deep diving into other people's journeys and their stories, hoping to give people inspiration. And so today you're going to hear my journey and I'm excited to tell it.
Thank you for having me again. And I'm so excited to ask you these questions about yourself and let the people get to know you better.
Awesome.
So
Thank
let's
you.
get into it.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up constantly moving?
So yeah, my dad was U.S. Customs, Border Protection. We moved 8 times growing up. I went to 2 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, 1 high school. It was, I don't want to say it was tough because it definitely shaped my personality. But it was difficult in regards to making friends and having to start over and switch
Yeah.
schools. And one of those stories that I always tell people about myself is every time we were moving to a different city and my mom was like unpacking the house, I was roaming around the neighborhood. The fact that I'm not like locked up,
Soliciting friends.
yeah. So the fact I'm not locked up in someone's dungeon right now is like a miracle of God. But yeah, I would literally knock on the door and be like, "Hi, I'm Krystle. We just moved here. I'm 6. Do you have any like 6-year-olds I can play with?" And I remember like some parents being like, we have like a 4-year-old." I'm like, "Cool, I'll take her.
Yeah.
I'll play with them." So I definitely feel like that shaped my personality. It's no surprise I'm in real estate, right?
You can talk to anyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every time we'd move, we'd look at houses. My parents would buy houses. I think my
Yeah,
parents have owned like 20 houses over the years. So,
that does make so much sense.
yeah.
How has that instability shaped your adaptability, independence, or desire for roots?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like, well, it shaped my personality. I've learned how to be adaptable.
Yeah.
I've learned how to be super outgoing.
Talk to anyone.
Yeah, I think it's like a personality thing because my dad was the exact same way.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, yeah, I feel like the roots one is interesting because maybe that's why I'm so obsessed with my house right now because I've owned 5 properties, but I feel like this is my home.
Yeah.
My first
Your family home, the
my
home that you
family
have
home.
and Jackson growing up in.
Yeah, I have so much pride and so much this is actually the first time that I've really felt home despite owning multiple properties and moving multiple times. I didn't even realize that until right now.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That definitely explains it. What brought you to Austin? What was it, intentional or unexpected?
Yeah.
That's that story.
Yeah, so I've been in Austin for 23 years. I'm definitely intentional. So I have an older sister and then I have 3 older cousins. It's like a family full of women. And Susie was the first to come here, followed by Sally, Nena, Ursula. Everyone moved here to go to college. And so I went to high school in El Paso. And, we were now in Texas. We were in Georgia, Memphis, and Saudi Arabia, and like all over the world prior. So I went to high school in El Paso. So all the girls were in Austin. So every summer from freshman year to senior year.
Because you were the youngest.
Yeah, I was the youngest. My sister's 5 years older than me. So I've had a fake ID for a long ass time. And so every summer, I would come to Austin with my cousins unsupervised and party my ass off. Like the fact that, again, almost still alive is crazy. But my parents were like, "Oh, sure, you can go with your 21-year-old sister to Austin
When you're 16.
When you're 16 years old." Like, what the hell? So that's what brought me to Austin. Basically, as soon as I graduated high school,
You were like, that's where I want to
I'm
be.
going to freaking Austin. I already was like, identify with Austin was my city, so I was naturally going to come to Austin.
So when you got here, how did you first fall into in love with real estate? Was it like love at first sale? Was it a slow burn? Did
So,
you?
so funny story. My first boyfriend in Austin was a real estate broker. I was 20, and he was one that encouraged me to get my real estate license. I was going to like junior college, and the goal was to transition to UT. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. It was probably going to be communications. And so I remember my boyfriend, David, he was like so successful, drove a nice car, and like had all this money at a young age.
And you're like, I want
I
that.
was like, hell yeah. So, but he's the one that encouraged me to get into real estate and get my real estate license. And yeah, so I owe it all
Wow.
to him, really.
That is really funny. You've been in real estate, like you said, for 23 years.
Yeah.
What's been the key to not just surviving, but thriving in such a competitive industry? I think we touched on this in my episode a little bit, but yeah, resilience.
You mean thriving? I'm fucking surviving is
Yeah.
more the word.
Yeah.
So it is, one, love what you do. You never have to work a day in your life. Like, I love what I do. It is, I can do it with my eyes closed.
Yeah.
Like, it's so second nature to me. And I definitely feel like it's just back to the basics, stick with the basics.
Mhm.
As you know, like we interview agents all the time to like join our team. And so one of the biggest like pieces of advice or things that I tell them are specialize and professionalize. Like in the beginning of your career, you're going to go wherever the business takes you.
Yeah.
So you're Kyle, Buda, like, girl, we doing that now. So, but truly, like in the beginning of your career, you're learning the industry, you're learning the city. Like, just because you've lived here forever doesn't mean you know what real estate is like in
Inland
different,
yeah.
different neighborhoods, different communities. So, you're getting the lay of the land initially, but eventually you want to specialize and professionalize. So for me, I really made a career in being a condo expert, a downtown expert. I've been selling and living in downtown Austin, since 2003 before Frost Bank was built. Like I really built a career specializing, professionalizing, and I think that that's been like really key to my success. Obviously, I can sell real estate anywhere. I'm great at what I do, whether it's a $400,000 townhouse off Burnett or a $10 million property in Westlake. Like I can do it
Mhm.
with my eyes closed and I'm good at it. And so I think yeah, just really like being passionate about it and become a market expert. So not just, real estate in general, because that will come, but like if there's a certain neighborhood, if you live in a neighborhood or want to sell a neighborhood, like become an expert in that and your career I feel like will really blossom and it'll set you apart from other agents.
Yeah, that's great advice. What was the moment you knew that you wanted to do more than just selling real estate? You also wanted to build something yourself within that space.
Yeah, so I will say it's far easier to just be an agent to be a real estate broker and like have a team and have agents. Um, I think that it was whenever I finished doing the developer sales at 360 and I essentially sold myself out of a job. I partnered with Justin, who had just moved here from Vegas, and he was like, I want to start a real estate brokerage. I don't know anyone. And I'm like, well, I know everyone. And I didn't identify with any, there was only like two other downtown brokerages at that time. And I didn't really identify with them, see myself
Yeah.
like hanging my license there. And so we were like, well, let's start our own company. Let's start our own team, Platinum Realty. And so it was like so natural for me to bring agents on and like take them under my wing.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can give me your perspective in terms of how I am as like a,
No, I feel like you're an incredible leader and a confidant to so many agents that whether they're seasoned or not, you're just so like you're so easy to talk to and you're always willing to give the best advice and be there for anyone at any hour of the day. So I think that also like the availability that you give people, the access that you
Mhm.
give people to yourself and your knowledge is set you apart from just being an agent.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have the bandwidth to give people that access to them, and you do, and you do it gracefully. So I think that that definitely is why you felt like a calling to
Yeah.
maybe help people. Like, you want to help
Yeah.
people and you want to grow and see people succeed. And over the
Right.
years, seeing people succeed on our team and everything, it's been wonderful. That's what makes you happy.
Right. It's so rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Totally.
What were some of your biggest fears in stepping out to start your own brokerage?
Oh God. I mean, the fear of failure,
Yeah.
the fear of like, it not being like what I envisioned or what I had hoped and wanted. I Yeah, I think that anytime you start, your own company and you put yourself out there and you make such a big investment financially in your time and you just don't really know like
Yeah.
where it's going to go. And so the evolution, of Platinum Realty, it's like I'm really proud of it.
Yeah.
I'm really like we've had so many and have so many incredible agents on our team. Some are still with us, some have gone on to other things, and just to see like everyone's success
Hmm.
and their growth is just so rewarding. And then of course there's people where they get out of the industry entirely or they, and it just wasn't for them. And so
How did you get over that fear of doing it though? Like, were you able
oh, I
to
just
just
went for it.
you were just
Oh,
like power
yeah,
through it?
just like, putting myself out there, knocking
Yeah.
on the door. Hi, do you have any friends?
So it
Like,
goes back to the
oh
beginning.
yeah, like
For
for
sure.
me, I rather, and I always tell people, and I've said this several times on the podcast before, you're better to have tried and failed than to have never tried at all. And so
Yeah.
for me, like 1,000%, like I'm gonna go. If you know me, I'm very decisive. Like if I make a decision,
Oh,
I'm
it's
gonna go
happening the
for it.
next day.
Yeah, just like with this podcast, I was like, well, I really have been really wanting to do one. We'll see
Yeah.
where it goes. Like
And just
I'm
like
gonna
when
go
you
for
found
it.
the house that you were talking about that finally felt like home to you, it was like
Oh,
you immediately,
yeah.
made that
Made an
decision.
offer that day.
Yeah.
Like it was like a whole, journey. And yeah, I'm very like, so there was fear. You think about all those things, but I've never let fear hold me back from anything.
What is the most surprising thing that you've learned from that leading a team and having your own brokerage?
Oh God.
Surprising though?
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, so I've learned a lot of lessons. Probably one of the biggest lessons that I learned in Justin, I got this from Justin, was the biggest waste of time is trying to motivate unmotivated people.
Mm,
So you really invest in people that genuinely want to learn, they want to grow.
yeah,
Surround yourself by like-minded people.
that have the same work ethic and
Yeah,
drive.
and drive and want, to say they want, all the things and they want to be successful. They're driven. Like those people, they inspire me. I hope to inspire them.
Mm-hmm.
I can learn from them. Like we can all learn from each other. Collaboration is key.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've definitely learned that's been probably some of the biggest like lessons that I've
Yeah,
learned and the biggest like takeaways and also who not to
yeah,
invest your
exactly.
time in and because that can be daunting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thankless job.
Yeah,
It's like it's disappointing, whenever people like you invest in them and especially in real estate, like the biggest, as um, the minute someone like doesn't have success, they look at the broker.
oh,
They
of
look at
course.
the like,
The
oh, I'm gonna
brokerage or
switch. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
gonna switch to a different brokerage. This is like isn't for me when it has nothing to do. Like we have the tools and keys and resources for you to be successful.
but ultimately it's up to you.
It's up to you. It's what you do with it, And so, learning to not take it personal. I think you're not there yet. You sometimes get a little take it a little personal. I'm like, oh, girl, been there, done that. Like, I am not surprised,
Yeah,
by this individual.
I guess, but it surprised you at first, and that's something you
Oh,
had
it
to
would
adapt
hurt
to.
every
Yeah,
time. It would
yeah,
hurt every time someone was like, "Oh, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna go different brokerage, or I'm gonna this and that." It because you invest so much and you
yeah.
genuinely want the best for them. And then think about how many people that have left and
Come
back
back, yeah.
because I always, at the end of the day, I want what's best for you.
Yeah.
I support you. If this makes the most sense for you, then you have our full support. And whenever you can leave it like that, then you leave the door wide open.
Yeah.
You know, you're not burning bridges. It's a small.
And I really admire how you handle those situations for sure.
Thanks.
So turning to a different topic, your father's passing was a major
Mm-hmm.
moment in your life. How did that loss shape your perspective personally and professionally?
Ooh, yeah, I was, I want to say 28. It's been 15 years now. 16 years
Wow.
on Halloween that my dad passed away. It definitely, you know, I have a newfound appreciation for life, for people. Like every day it's not promised. So it is definitely, my dad really instilled like family values, family into us. And so I'm super tight, so close with my family. That comes from my mom as well, but especially my dad was such a people person, just the best personality, outgoing.
Yeah, that's where you get it
Oh,
from, for sure.
1,000%. And I don't care if I am sitting with a billionaire or I'm sitting, you know, with the busser.
Yeah.
We're going to have the same connection. We can have the same conversation like that. None of that matters to me. It's the individual, the person. And that's been my father. I got that from my dad and I've carried that with me my entire life. My parents were very hardworking, very humble, very driven, and put family first. And so I feel like I've just they modeled that. You know, I've carried that um into my life, and having such a big loss like that, you know, it's like a forever
Because it
boy.
happened suddenly.
Yeah, he had a heart
So
attack.
that's
And
something that like you probably learned a lot from or took from that happening in just a blink of an eye.
oh yeah.
too.
Yeah. And so, you know, for me, it's very easy to like have difficult conversations and like dive into, you know, like important thing. You know, now it's like, okay, do you have a life insurance policy in place? Do you have beneficiaries? Like, I
Yeah.
talk to like my friends and people are like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, what? And I'm like, no, it's important. You know, you lose someone like that unexpectedly, you realize like how important it is to have everything in place for your loved ones.
Yeah.
You know, you pass away, who do you think's going to pay for that funeral? Like,
Yeah.
you know, who do you think is going to like handle
Be
your
surprised
affairs?
how many people don't think about
Of
that.
course not.
But
Grown people
Yeah.
don't even think about those things. You have a beneficiary in your bank account.
Yeah.
Okay, well, all that money that's in there when you die, like no one's gonna have access to that. Your parents are gonna have to bury you. They're gonna have to bear the expense. Like, so I have a lot of these weird, uncomfortable conversations with people,
Yeah.
you know, that I'm close to, and they're just like, shit, I never thought about that. I think about those things now
Yeah.
because after that happened with my father, you know, and
You never know what's gonna happen.
never. And I have a son, so
Mhm.
I have to
Yeah.
have everything in order. So that's definitely like shaped me in a weird way.
Do you think that it also, since it happened so suddenly, and you think, oh, anything could happen at any moment, that also plays into you making decisions and being decisive?
Yeah, maybe
Because you're like,
probably.
hey, you never know what's going to happen. I
Never
want to
know.
do this. I want to do this with my life. I want to, move.
Yeah,
I want to start a podcast.
yeah,
Let's just do it.
I would say so. Life is
Yeah.
short. Like I just, yeah, I make a decision. I go after it. There's no paralysis by analysis. Like I'm getting shit done, and I value and recognize fully that like tomorrow is not promised. You tell people you love them.
Yeah.
You also tell people if you're upset with them. You know, I'm not going to
Oh,
bed.
no, you're not going to bed without saying
I'm not
what's on
going,
your mind.
hell no. I'm not going to bed with that guilt, that anger, that like shoulda, woulda, coulda. No, we're addressing it and moving on from it.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
touched on it a little bit, but if there's anything you want to add, like how do you think grief changes you, even if you think you're prepared for it and ready for it?
Yeah, I don't think you're ever prepared for
Yeah.
that. I've thought about like, okay, if you had a, you know, parent that had cancer and it was like a slow process,
Yeah.
like the finality of it is the finality of it. So whether you had time to prepare or not, that person is gone, and they are gone forever.
Mhm.
And the void is there forever. And so I,
And it can hit I feel like people at certain times
oh
too.
yeah.
You know, it could be while they're going through that process, or it definitely could be after. So you're definitely right. I think you're never prepared for that.
Yeah, you're never prepared for that. But, my dad is always with me. And
Oh yeah.
so I feel him, I see him, he shows up for me. And I also, having experienced that loss, I make it like a mission, a goal whenever anyone that I know has lost a loved one, I make sure to tell them like they're there.
Yeah.
Like, you may not feel it, you may not see it, but I promise you they're there. And if you open like your mind and your heart, you will. And
Oh my God,
people
yeah.
get
I've
so
seen
much
you have
comfort.
get signs from your dad, and he definitely, especially with Jackson too,
Yeah.
like he is around and he is for sure.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
make it a point to like give people that comfort and tell them about my experience,
Yeah.
because that's kind of all you have,
Yeah.
and if someone like reminds you of that or opens you up to it, I feel like you're just that much more like, people tell me like, oh my God, this happened and that happened. And it's like, if I had it told them that, maybe they would have missed it, or maybe they wouldn't have been open to it.
Yeah.
So, that's important to me. I feel like that's a mission, a goal of mine, is to help others with their grief.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. So you experienced a broken engagement at 26 and have gone and have gone through 2 divorces. What did those seasons teach you about yourself?
Oh, Lord have mercy. Just call me J-Lo. I'm a ring collector over here. Okay, so it's funny. The 26 engaged, like he
You're
was 10
so
years older.
young.
I was a baby. He was 10 years older than me, from California. Um, and we were so different. Like,
Yeah.
so different. He was so jealous. Can you imagine being with someone who's jealous?
No.
Yeah, hell no. We'd go to like a restaurant.
Well, because you talk to everyone too,
Yeah.
It's
And
your
he'd be like,
personality.
you were flirting with that waiter. And I'd be like, the fuck? Like, I was just talking. I'm like, yeah, I was always in trouble.
Oh gosh.
I was always like,
So he was possessive.
oh, well, yeah, yes and no. Like, I was a free woman, free reign. It wasn't like, you're not going out with your girlfriends tonight, but it was like, where are you going? When are you coming home?
It was
And
always like looming.
yeah, and more of like, you were talking to that person for too long, or like, who is this and who is that? Yeah. The engagement got broken off because of my business, the person that I founded Platinum Realty with. The fiance traveled all the time, and I remember like having a party. Justin and Tyler just moved here, and I had a party at the condo, and he was like blowing me up, and I wasn't answering him. And then he finally, the next day, was like, where were you? What were you doing? And I was like, well, I had a party, and I had Justin and Tyler and 20 other people there. And he was like, it's over. I can't trust you.
Oh my gosh.
Broke off the engagement 2 weeks before we were supposed to get married. Oh yeah, there's like 70 people coming. And so the engagement gets broken off. And then of course, after like we were supposed to get married and stuff, he comes back to town and basically was like, I still want to be engaged, but we're just not ready to get married. And at that point, it's like, boy, bye.
Yeah.
Like, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
You don't want to get married. Like, we just don't need to be together at all.
Yeah.
And so I'm so grateful for that, because hello, I was never meant to be with anyone who's jealous.
Yeah.
With my personality and my career, it just was never an option. The biggest takeaway from that, look, everything's always meant to be. I am grateful all of that happened, because my dad was living in Thailand. This is like the biggest silver lining, aside from like newfound freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
Living a whole life out was never meant to
a
be.
broken
Yeah,
marriage.
exactly. But my dad was living in Thailand at the time, and obviously he's coming in for the wedding. And so when it got called off, my dad was like, hey, I'm still going, girl. Like, I'm still going to Mexico. Are we still going?
Like, these tickets are non-refundable.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about it. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, we're still going. And so I messaged all my people and was like, hey, still going to Mexico. May not be getting married, but shit, like, let's go. Let's like have a good time. 20 of us went. my entire family, all my best friends, and we partied our freaking ass off.
That is,
Yeah, for a
that
week
is
straight in Playa. We'd be walking down the Avenida, running into everybody every day at Mamitas Beach. It was the best. And almost exactly a year later, like to the week, my dad died. So to have those pictures, to have those memories, my parents were divorced but they were still good friends. So to like my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad, my aunts, my cousins, my best friends, the freaking best. So that's like such a silver lining from that.
That
broken
is
engagement.
truly like, that is an incredible story.
Oh, it's the best. And the marriages, well, so yeah, got married in 2012. We got a divorce in 2016. So we were married going on 5 years together, 7 years. I mean, I thought we were going to be married forever. We were really compatible. You know, we had loved his family. I'm still cool with his family, of course, to date. I will say, like, very quickly when I found out about the side chick, I had just finished doing this. So there's a cult out there called,
oh my God.
It was, what, executive success?
Yeah, what was
Nexius.
it called?
There's a whole documentary on it. It was cultish things about it. It was considered a cult. But in reality, there were so many good things in that. And I just finished this like executive success program, this 6-day intensive. And
it was an extension of the cult.
Yeah, it was an extension of the cult. So I just did this intensive. And let me tell you, it was a dream. It was meant to be, because a big key of that was about forgiveness, and it was about like taking ownership and accountability and just like compassion.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had found out about the side chick in my marriage, and she was kind of like always in the picture, and I always felt, listen ladies, like listen to your intuition. This little girl was kind of always in the background. She was a little girl. She was always in the background of my ex-husband. They were like kind of high school sweethearts, but when he was single, she was in a relationship. When she was in a relationship, he was single. And so I always felt some kind of way.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't like her.
Rightfully so. Yeah.
Don't like her. Don't trust her. And so long story short, found out, came home from Tokyo. Husband didn't pick me up at the airport. Dude, that's the longest flight of your
literally
flight nightmare. So
if there's one day time to pick up from the airport, it is that.
Yeah. So I just knew it. I knew it. He was somewhere doing something he shouldn't be doing. I go home, get on the computer, and I find a bank account. And then there was a whole credit card in her name, all the things. Yeah. Confronted, and he admitted and basically was like, I'm kind of happy you found out about it. Like, I'm glad that this is out there. And I was like, okay, regroup, therapy, and was like, okay, I'm willing to like, to me, I was married, so I was willing to work through it.
Yeah.
Assuming he drops her, and was, we can potentially work on it. I made vows like shit happens. So go to therapy, and in therapy, she knew. I was like, look, he's going to drop, and like, we're going to work through it, or like, we're going to go our separate ways. And that's what he wants. And then he basically was like, yeah, I think I need, like, I love you, but I think I need 6 months to explore this.
Your husband said that to you in therapy.
Yeah. And so that's say less. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't choose me. I choose me, and literally filed for divorce. I think that session was like on Friday, filed for divorce on Monday, and like 60 days later, I was divorced.
Yeah. But that's all you needed to hear.
But
that's crazy.
So I locked myself, I didn't tell anyone until we went through that. And so it was like a whole kind of a week process.
Yeah.
Like figuring out what the hell I was going to do. And so I will say, having just finished that 6-day intensive, very quickly, I was able to navigate through, obviously, massive anger, and a lot, and it was painful, and it was a long road. And I did therapy for a fucking year straight after that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was very quickly able to come to let me take a look in the mirror and understand why this happened and take accountability for my role in the demise of this marriage. Because I feel like it's so
Yeah.
easy for people to play victim. It's so easy for people to be like, oh, this happened to me. Can you fucking believe that? Like, how dare he? How dare she? Right. Which, sure, that's all valid, but at the same time, what did I do to contribute
Yeah.
to the breakdown of this union?
Wow.
And apologize.
And you would have never had that
Had I
insight.
not just done that like 6-day intensive, I would not have. I remember we had access to what were they called? Basically it's like kind of a therapy session. And an exploration of EM, an exploration of meaning. And I had access to this woman and I called her and I was like, I was so angry. It was fresh, just happened.
Yeah.
And I called and I was like telling her, and I was like, he has this other person that he's been supporting. And she was just like, what's wrong with that? And I was like, what do you mean? What's wrong with that? Like, that's
Yeah.
my husband. And she was like, right. But like, is it shared money? I'm like, no, it's his money. Everything's separate. Our accounts are all separate. And she was like, okay, so what's like the issue with that? And I was like so offended by it. And then she also was like, made me realize and see that she was like, the girl has always been in the picture, right? In the background. I was like, yeah, she has. And she's like, so why are you surprised
Yeah.
that this happened? And she was like, because I would like, why are you talking to this bitch? Like, block her. And he would stop. And then it would go 6 months with nothing. And then I would have a feel, I'd look, and sure enough, texting,
So
DM
it's
me.
always a recurringly
Yeah.
common thing.
So she was like, why are you surprised? It like at the end of the day, it always has to come from them,
Yeah.
right? With drinking,
Yeah.
cheating, gambling, whatever it may be. Like at the end of the day, I would get mad. He was doing the bad thing. He would stop doing the bad thing and then go back to
Yeah.
over and over again. And it was because of me. He loved me. He didn't want to hurt me, but he couldn't help himself. So it's like someone they have to want to stop on their own.
Of course.
You can't make anyone do anything. They may temporarily like not do it, and so I didn't see it at the time, but whenever I was so offended by that, and whenever I was later, I was like, God, she's so right. She's so right. Like it always had to come from him.
Yeah.
Right? If he to choose to
choose
not do that,
Yeah.
to choose like his marriage, and he didn't choose that. And for me in hindsight, I'm like, what are things that I could have done differently? There's so many. I was like, I'm so independent and like get things for myself. His love language was like giving gifts and like all the things. And he'd get me something and I'd be like, dude, like I can get that for myself. Like,
Well, that's very mature of you to
well, rather
to get there
oh,
so quickly.
yeah, well, I'm
and
telling you,
see
I'm
that.
attributing it to that. But I think about like, and then he had this other person who he was constantly buying things for, and she was making him feel like king of the world. Like, oh my God, you're so amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, the
Thank
grass
you.
is always greener too.
Yeah.
It's like he's not coming home to having to take out the trash with this person,
Right.
to just do the normal
Yeah.
day-to-day things, and that's not as sexy as
Yeah.
someone you just hang out with and go to dinner with or whatever.
Right.
Well, that's really
So yeah, that marriage, like, I definitely feel like it is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't have any regrets. I learned a lot, on how to be married, and I know that I knew I really valued marriage. I still do. I've always wanted like a partner. And then with the last one, it was long distance initially, and so basically whenever we were finally living in the home together, very quickly it was like engagement and then pregnant with Jax, and he's 9 years younger than me.
I was gonna say that's a big point.
Yeah.
He was in a different stage of his
Oh,
life
100%.
than you were.
Yeah, and I knew going into it, and
Yeah.
I was like, okay with that. And I'll say we were just never compatible ever from the beginning. I think I'm grateful that we were together because I have my son.
Yeah.
and he has his son.
Oh yeah. The
You
best
know,
thing
like
absolute
I
way
am
came out of it.
1,000%.
But y'all just don't communicate in my, seeing, because I didn't obviously see your engagement. I didn't see the whole entirety of the first marriage, but the second marriage I did see, and I think that y'all just communicate very
Oh yeah.
differently. Very differently.
Two different people, two
Yeah.
different backgrounds, raised completely different, two fucking different generations.
Yeah.
He was born in the 90s. I was born in the 80s. Like, yeah, grave differences, and it makes a difference.
But yeah, Jax is
Oh,
the best
I
in the
am.
world. And
So once again, best of intentions, grateful, because I now have my son and he's the best thing that ever happened to me. So broken engagement, two failed marriages has have no shame in my journey. I'm grateful for it. I am who I am today because of it. And most importantly, I have my son.
that was gonna kind of lead into my next question, which would be, what would you tell your younger self after that first broken off engagement, heartbroken, unsure of the future?
Mm-hmm.
What would you tell your younger self? Oh, oh wait, there's gonna be more.
Yeah, you just wait, girl. You're gonna have far more heartbreak, and I would tell my younger self, one, I'd be like, girl, you is young. You are too young to be getting married.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you know what? Whatever.
A lot of people get married around that
Yeah.
age. It's yeah.
And some people get married and they're still married.
Yeah.
There's beauty in that. Like, whatever anyone's journey is with marriage and relationships and children, to have, to not have, to have them young, to have them older like me, like, that is your own journey. And I think it's all God's timing.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely tell myself, like, do not worry. You are going to be just fine. This is but, a stepping stone for something so much better. And this doesn't define you. There's nothing wrong with it. And good for you for trying and putting yourself out there. A lot of people are too fearful to look at me. I keep fucking doing it. I keep doing it, because I value like love and relationships and a partnership. And I want that. I've always wanted that for myself.
Well, that literally brings me to my next question. Despite all the heartbreak, that you have found love again.
I have.
What feels different this time?
Everything. Literally everything. Okay, so I will say, I just want to make a point. Like, I think it's so important for women to take time off post breakups.
Mm-hmm.
So many people, I know a lot of them are serial daters. They're incapable of being single. And no, absolutely not. Like, and I've never been that person. It may sound like it, considering, how many times I've been in these long-term committed relationships.
Yeah.
But no, on the contrary, I fucking love being single. Live my best life.
You lived it up.
I sleep real good at night without someone's son stressing me out. So be single. Take the time to heal. I have done a ton of therapy,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of therapy in between every single breakup. And it's just so necessary for the heart, for the mind, for the soul, and then get back out there and date and have fun with dating. I always had fun. I live my best life dating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so people are like scared to put themselves out there. They're scared to put themselves out there, or scared to be alone.
Yeah.
So then they just settle, and they, like, for the first person, jump from one relationship to another without healing. And that's just so, so, so important.
Well, you're resilient for now.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah.
Third time's a charm, girl.
To finding love again now, here in a healthy mindset and space.
Yeah.
So what feels different this time?
Yeah, I feel like I wasn't looking. I thought I was going to be single, honestly, for like another year.
Yeah.
And all of my friends were like, no, girl, you will find someone fast. And I'm like, you think? I don't know. Like, I like being single. I'm having fucking fun being single.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to. I'm good. Post-divorce, I took 6 months of being celibate, like therapy, focusing on myself. And then I started dating. So I like was dating for 6 months and it was so fun. I was really enjoying it. And for me, I was like, I'm just going to continue to date until I meet someone worthy of my time who brings value to my
Yeah.
life.
To adds to your
Yeah,
life.
what's the
Yeah.
point? Like, if you're not lifting me up and you're not like inspiring me to be a better person and we're laughing and having fun and good chemistry and all the things, fucking forget it. I'm good. Great. Me and my son were good.
Yeah.
And so I also knew this time around it was going to be different because now I have my child to consider. I'm not going to just
Yeah,
let
that's such a good point.
anyone around him or in his space,
Yeah.
so he is the primary number one person in my life. And so, for me, it was like I have to be so particular,
Yeah.
who I bring around my child. And I knew that, okay, it was going to take time too of dating someone before they ever got introduced to my son. And so to have unexpectedly meet someone who is, their own whole person, who's kind and considerate and they give as much as I give, that's incredible. They allow me to be myself fully, unapologetically. That's incredible. And they're ambitious and just as ambitious, driven, and successful
Oh,
as I am.
yeah.
It's been easy from the start, from the beginning. It's been easy. And there's been no games. There's been no guessing. There's been no anything. It's just like both of us are like have been fully aligned the entire time. The communication's a dream. Conflict resolution, like what conflict? Like compared to my last relationship,
Yeah.
it was like rare to have normal spats of like just normal, versus there was always something, always like talk about exhausting,
Oh, yeah.
and in this relationship, there's none of that. It's just easy and supportive and loving and healthy, and the communication's beautiful. I'm like, I didn't know I knew I wanted it. I just didn't know like what it
What it
felt
felt.
like,
Yeah.
like I see those like memes on Instagram where the women are like just walking in the airport. They're like, I don't have my boarding
Oh,
pass.
yeah.
I don't have my, I'm just,
Passenger princess.
yeah, but fucking, I'm a passenger princess now.
Yeah.
What? I have a man that's like planning vacations and for me and making dinner reservations and like,
And
I don't,
it's like, seems like simple stuff, but when you haven't had that before,
yeah.
it's like, oh my God,
Oh, it's a dream.
that's incredible. And no, you seem so happy, and this is seriously the most healthy, happy relationship I've ever seen you in. So,
Oh, it's a dream.
um,
Yeah, I'm grateful. And guess what? My journey, my heartaches,
yeah,
my failed relationships, all of that led me to where I am today.
yeah,
So for me, I'm like, we're meeting right on time.
right
Right
on
on
time.
time for him because he's gone through his own thing, with previous relationships. Like, we're meeting right on time.
And he seamlessly blends into your family and you and Jax and
Yeah.
your dynamic, which brings me to how you think motherhood has transformed your idea of what love and home mean.
The like constant. My son is just like a bright light. So it's like a whole new sense of purpose. It's a whole new sense of belonging. It's like true unconditional love
Mm-hmm.
that I receive and I want to give. Like, this is the most important job of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such an honor, and it just helped me be a better version of myself. I it's just a whole new level of like
Love.
of love and purpose and what really like matters.
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day. And it's like, this is my most important job that I'm ever going to have in my life. And the best title I will ever have is mom. I feel really, I'm just so lucky. I just feel like I'm just can't believe he's mine. Like, I can't believe he's for me.
Yeah.
It's just such a, it's amazing. So he's just helped me be a softer, kinder, better, more patient,
Deeper love.
deeper like version of myself. And this is the best kind of love that I could ever ask for, more than
And
anything in the world.
you're doing an incredible
Thank
job.
you.
And he's amazing and
Yeah,
perfect.
thank you.
What legacy do you hope to leave, not just for your child, but for every woman who feels like they've had to start over too many times?
Shit.
There's never too many
Oh
times.
my God, I know. Yeah, look,
never-
I think that people should have no shame in their journey. I think that, we put a lot of societal pressure on ourselves, to feel like we need the man, we need the job, we need the accolades, we need the. No, your time is your time. It is your journey led you to exactly where you are. And you're not where you want to be. That's okay. Like, you focus on yourself, focus on your goals, your ambitions, pour into your family, pour into your friends, pour into yourself. Like, when you are a whole person and you emotionally, financially, physically, when you are the best version of yourself, everything will fall into place. And just have faith and confidence that the timing, you're exactly where you need to be. And all of those things will come if you invest in yourself and being a whole person. You have to love yourself first before you can
Give yourself.
be any good to anyone else. The
Yeah.
whole thing, the notion of like, he completes me. No one needs to complete you. You need to be
just
a whole individual,
Yeah.
completed person, on your own. That way someone's just like a
special addition.
Yeah, special and added bonus. Your partner in crime. You guys can do incredible things together, but like, no one should complete you. No, I want to feel safe and secure, in this love, but
Mhm.
I'm good without you. Like, and that's the biggest thing too. Like, you need to always feel and know wholeheartedly you're going to be just fine.
Yeah.
Like, knock on wood, I have full confidence and faith that this relationship is for me forever. Yeah. And guess what? Life happens, things happen.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work out, that's okay.
Because you have yourself.
I am good. I will be just fine. Not to say that it won't be painful loss. I will be just fine. Like, my son and I are good. So knowing that you will be just fine and you will get through anything because you have yourself and you have an incredible, beautiful life that you've built, of friends that love you and support you and value you, you will always be okay.
Well, that brings me to my last question. What is your crystal clear moment, the turning point where everything came into focus?
Oh my goodness. Well, I will say this last divorce, this is like last heartbreak. It was like, when we were officially like not in the house together and separated, I will say it was like just a weight was lifted. And I was like, this is where my new life begins.
Yeah.
This is not the last chapter, but like a new chapter. And I get to make my life whatever I want it to be. I get to. And I am choosing myself, my son, happiness. Like, I have, like, I think, again, so many people focus on being victims.
Mhm.
And this happened to me. Look, I am grateful that all of this happened. How lucky am I that I get this opportunity to reinvent myself, to start over,
Yeah.
to pick an incredible partner. Like I am lucky.
It's a blessing.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing. I get this opportunity to start anew and make my life exactly what I want it to be. And I just, yeah, I'm grateful. I have no regrets. I have no, that's why I talk about it so freely. I mean, all I can do is laugh about it and,
Yeah.
own my journey. And, there should be no shame for anyone who's been divorced, been cheated on, even if they cheated, have no shame in that, because God willing, you learned from it.
Yeah.
God willing, you're a better person from it. And without that experience, you wouldn't appreciate when you have someone really special
Yeah.
in your life and you can be.
And choosing to get a divorce or separate from someone is definitely, it's choosing you.
Yes.
So you chose yourself,
Yeah,
and that
exactly.
definitely explains why it would be a crystal clear moment of like, no, this is where I'm choosing myself and my son
Right.
and happiness, and that opened up a whole new life
Yes.
for you.
And I will always choose that. I will always choose my own happiness. And most importantly, my son now, above and beyond anything else. So those have been my crystal clear moments. And yeah, I'm grateful for my journey and where I am. So,
Well,
and I'm proud of myself.
I'm proud of you too. Thank you for opening up to everyone and letting me ask you these questions, and I felt like I even learned more about you today. So
I love it. Thank you.
yeah, love you.
Thank you. Love you too.